The workshop was colder than usual. On the table, the golden key sat like a silent judge. Saga was gone, a phantom lost in his own riches. Then
Saga.
the door creaked.
Where
An
have you
old
gone?
woman entered. She didn't seek gold. She placed a small, worn wooden ring on the stone table. It was smooth from years of toil, cracked by time, and stained with the salt of 1,000 tears. My son traded his shadow for gold and his heart for a throne, she said, her voice steady but hollow. Now he is a ghost, trapped in a world that cannot see him. I have come to buy his return. Master Mateo looked at the ring. This wood is common. It has no value in the world of men. It is the ring my husband gave me before he died, the woman replied. It is the only thing I had left of my past. To give it to you is to erase the memory of the only man who ever loved me. If I give it up, I will forget my husband existed, just so my son can have a future. Mateo stood tall. Saga gave up others to gain for himself. You are giving up yourself to gain for another. The box has never tasted a soul this selfless. He didn't use a key. He touched the wooden ring, and it dissolved into ash. The trade is made, Mateo whispered. Your son will live. He will have his shadow and his memories, but when he looks at you, he will see a stranger, and when you look at him, you will feel nothing but the cold wind. The golden key was turned, and a mother's love became a stranger's gaze. But Master Mateo's workshop still has one empty shelf. What artifact would you bring to trade for your deepest regret? Write it in the comments. Subscribe to Tales by Saga, where every story has a price.